had a love affair with cars my whole life. I build them in my shop, and I race them both on and off-road.
I've spent years on the auto show circuit talking about cars, but now it's time to get behind the wheel and find the next adventure.
Together, we're setting out to tackle all things that every car enthusiast should do.
This is The List.
Hey everybody, welcome to The List. I'm Jesse Combs.
And I'm Patrick McIntyre. Now, a lot of you in Autoblog have told us that we should build a car.
That's right, so what better place to come than Local Motors in Chandler, Arizona, birthplace of the Rally Fighter.
And one of the things that makes the Rally Fighter cool is that it was crowdsourced through the online community.
What's even cooler is you can come in and build your car right alongside them in a matter of 6 days.
And if you want that full experience, well, then you're going to have to start by talking to this man right here, Adam Kaiser.
How you guys doing?
Thanks for having us.
Adam, thank you.
Tell you what, before we get our hands dirty, why don't I take you around the facility and show you how it all happens.
Right on.
Sounds good. The difference between Local Motors and building a car at home is that, first of all, you have to have the space, the tools, but also you need time. A lot of projects take years to do. This happens in 6 days. So it's 6 quick, intensive days, and boom, you've got a car like that.
So we'll start out back here in the chassis shop. As you can see, we get all of our raw materials in. Over here is the chassis jig, so once everything is bent and coated properly, you can see Mike here starting to place the front end of this chassis. It takes approximately 1 day on the jig itself and then 1 day off the jig. So basically every 2 days we have a Rally Fighter chassis. Now what you see in here behind you is our water jet machine, which rarely gets a break in our facility. All of our tabs and everything that goes onto the chassis comes off this cable. Highly accurate, highly efficient, and unlike us, it never takes a lunch break. Okay, so now we are in the vinyl wrapping department of Local Motors. We actually do not paint anything. We actually vinyl wrap all Rally Fighters. One, it saves weight and it's environmentally friendly. And you can change it anytime you want at far less cost than repainting the entire car. This is one of the bodies, so basically if you look up above here, this is how they are shipped. We actually have to do most of the cutting on the bodies because if you were to try and ship this, it would fall to pieces. Quite a bit of work needs to be done to these even when they do show up. So in here is where all the magic happens. This section over here is all dedicated to our tech department. They handle basically our online community. Along this side here, this is all of our drafting area. Basically all of our engineers are lined up on this side of the office. Behind us, this is our inspiration wall. As you can see here, this is where all the original sketches of the Rally Fighter. So now that you've seen where all the design work happens, let's go out and make it happen.
Okay.
Welcome to the build floor. In-house, we have actually 10 build bays. So this is the first one here. We've got a group that's already started, IMTS, which you may have heard of, and they're actually here in-house building a Rally Fighter.
So if somebody bought their car, this is not necessarily this bay, but this is where they would come and actually do all of the assembly.
Exactly. The car never moves once it's started, so you have your own little area inside the microfactory. This is the 6.2 liter LS3, straight from GM Performance Parts. It's the E-Rod package, so it's got all 4 catalytic converters, and that's what makes it smog and street legal, all 50 states. So after they get that mounted, then it's on to the rest of the suspension components and wheels, tires, and get this thing on the ground.
Now with this motor, is because it comes straight from GM, does it come with its warranty?
Yep, it comes with its own warranty.
So I could take this into the dealership and they would service it for me, tune it, anything that I needed?
Yep, absolutely.
As a Rally Fighter?
As a Rally Fighter.
That's pretty cool.
So as we walk along the build floor here, you see various Rally Fighters in different stages of completion. This one here a little bit further ahead than yours. This one here with the body actually on. Tony here is installing the shock assembly on the new upright.
What's this guy?
This here is actually going to be the first 2012 Rally Fighter to hit the street.
Let's get down to it. What are we talking for price here for one of these?
Well, pricing's all the same. For the entire Rally Fighter build experience is $74,900. And what that gets you is your time here, your accommodations, your meals. So we take care of you at that price while you're here building.
Now that we've seen the manufacturing and assembly process, it's time to meet the man behind Local Motors. Jay, thank you so much for bringing us in and sitting down and having this chat with us. What was it in your head that started this whole idea of Local Motors and Rally Fighter?
When I was in the Marine Corps, right about the time that I was going to ship off for my first deployment, I met a guy named Amory Lovins, and he had sort of given a prescription for how to change the auto industry in a book that he had written. And after reading that book, it was called Winning the Oil Endgame, he sort of gave the roadmap and said, if you changed one simple thing about cars, in his case making it lighter, you could really change the whole auto industry. And so for us, the Rally Fighter came out because a guy, Sang-Ho Kim, said, here's a cool idea. Take a P-51 Mustang Fighter. Let's make that the off-road car, like a Group B Porsche 959, Lancia Stratos type of off-road car. But then imagine it could also go on-road too. So we could drive to the race, and then drive home and be really cool in doing it.
With the Rally Fighter being such a purpose-built vehicle, what can we expect when we're out taking it for a test drive and the experience that we're going to get?
You can expect the most amazing off-road experience for a car that can also drive on the road. You're going to be able to take jumps, fly 100 feet, be 6 feet in the air. You're going to be able to land, and you're going to be able to drive to the grocery store.
After talking to Jay, I'm excited to get busy on the build team.
So we're going to welcome you guys onto the build team. We've already, as you can see, installed the engine, some of the front suspension, the rear suspension is also installed. Now what we're doing is we're installing the floor tubs. What we'll do is we'll set those in, we'll mark those down, and then they'll come out of the car. We'll drill all the holes to be able to fasten them down to the chassis, and then they'll go back in. So welcome to the build team.
Now it's time to get busy and lend a hand for some of the build. Now, we don't have time to show you the entire process, but we wanted to show you a cool alternative to building your own car.
So while Jesse's working on the radiator and installing the coolant hoses, what we're going to do is we're going to take the floor tubs that we marked that were already in the car.
Okay.
You can see here's where we trace out the lines. We measured off the spots to drill about every 8 inches.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead, we'll drill them out with a 3/16 inch drill bit, because what we're going to do is when this goes back into the car, we're going to rivet the floors back down to the chassis with a 3/16 steel rivet.
I keep going back to this car because this is a really good visual reference. It's a little bit further along in the build stage, so I can make sure that I'm using the right hose. I just found out that I still need to cut some of this off. That's why it didn't seem like it was fitting.
Looks like there's enough cooks in this kitchen, so we're gonna let them finish up on the car.
And we're gonna go out and get prepped for the best part of this whole process, Rally Fighter test driving. Jay is letting me drive his personal car out on the dirt track. What's cool about it is that it is the second chassis that has ever left the build floor.
The Rally Fighter is meant to be a dual-purpose machine.
Perfectly capable of handling off-road.
And high performance on the streets.
So I'm gonna take mine to the dirt, off some jumps, through some whoops, see how it handles.
And I'm gonna go for a little high-speed cruising. And then we'll see if these vehicles really live up to the hype.
Buckle up.
All right.
Well, we took a Rally Fighter from raw material to full-on test drive. I think we can check build a car off of our list.
I agree. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.